What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on NIO stock.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video, first of all, I will show you where we are on a price chart and how we get there. I will also show you how we caught this movement to the upside that brought us almost 20% of potential profit. Then I will continue with the fundamental news. And I will show you what news might be the catalyst for this asset for upcoming weeks and months. And at the end of this video, I will share my thoughts and my technical analysis. And I will show you what should we expect next. So let's start with the price chart. I made my previous video right here at this very point, right after we caught this movement to the upside that, as I already mentioned, brought us a bit less than 20% of potential profit. And right here, I've told you that basically you have two options. You had two options. First of all, you could book your profits right here. Or the second option, you could put your stop loss slightly below $8 mark with an anticipation of the next leg to the upside that potentially might bring you much more lucrative profits. And as you can see, this asset went higher, and from its lowest point to its highest point, it gained about 34% of potential profit, but definitely I cannot count on this 34% because I didn't tell you that you could leave your position right here. And on top of that, we might see the next leg to the upside that might hit even higher targets, but not for now. And that is why just let's be conservative, and we booked the profits for about 19%. Definitely it is a very good achievement in a matter of just several days. So, what was the main news directly related to NIO that potentially was the catalyst of this movement? Let me show you that for now, the most important news is their insurance registrations, and we have the data from the week from June 12th till June 18th. And right here you can see that NIO had 2,000 registrations. On top of that, I want to pay your attention on these numbers. Previously, they had 1,500 units that was registered in China, and the total number of vehicles between June the 1st and June 18th, NIO sold 4,800 units. So definitely this number is not so impressive. And I have to say that we have to see much higher numbers in order to achieve the major target for this year of 250,000 vehicles sold. And I have to say that right now we just at the very beginning of their sales of new models ES6 and ET5. As you can see, NIO officially launched the new ES6 on May 24th and rolled out the ET5 touring on June 15th. And these two vehicles are built on NT 2.0 platform that is much more lucrative compared to the previous one, much more lucrative in terms of its gross margin. And I have to say that the main problem for NIO right now that fundamentally drove the price of NIO lower is the decreasing gross margin of this company. The last data that we have is 1.5% of gross margin for the entire company. Definitely it is very low numbers. But in general, I have to say that we also have quite good news. Let me show you this article that was published just several hours ago, and it's titled "Breaking: NIO secures $1.1 billion investment from Abu Dhabi fund." And let me quote you further. The investment will further strengthen NIO's balance sheet to provide to power its continuous endeavors in accelerating business growth, driving technological innovations and building long-term competitiveness, said William Lee. And let me quote you this. On June 20th, NIO signed a shared subscription agreement with Abu Dhabi investment firm CYVN Holdings, which will invest a total of about $1.1 billion in the Chinese electric vehicle company through an additional new share issue and share transfer of an existing shareholder, according to a statement. And in general, for this $1.1 billion, NIO will dilute their share float by 5%. And in my opinion, it is a quite lucrative deal, especially with this quite high number of investment. On top of that, let me show you this. The strategic investment from CYVN Holdings, demonstrate NIO's unique values in the smart electric vehicle industry. The investment transaction will further strengthen our balance sheet to power continuous endeavors in accelerating business growth, driving technological innovations, and building long-term competitiveness, said William Lee, founder, chairman, and CEO of NIO. And I have to say that NIO had quite a tricky situation in terms of their balance sheet, in terms of their free cash flow, because recently they had a very high amount of spendings. They invested a lot in their expansion in Europe. And with this new investment potential, they are opening the door to the Middle East. And definitely, the more markets NIO has in their portfolio, the more exposure and more sales in general they will have. And definitely, it is a very good sign. So, let me show you this information. We are on marketbeat.com, and right here you can see the recent updates from analytic firms, and all of them downgraded the price targets. And a couple of companies even set the price targets below the current price range. As you can see, $8 from Barclays and $7.5 from Nomura. But in general, the consensus analyst price target is $13.63, which implies 50.18% of upside potential. It is quite a prominent number, but I have to say that we have to see major improvements in their sales and more importantly in their gross margin in order to achieve this target. And let me show you a completely opposite opinion that was made by their Sensis Baev, and he wrote on June 21st on Seeking Alpha this article that is titled NIO, Sell This Dead Cat Bounce. And the summary is following. NIO is losing market share in the domestic market and is unlikely to meet ambitious long-term revenue growth expectations. The company is burning cash rapidly and may need to raise substantial financing in near future, potentially diluting shareholder value. Intense competition from local and global rivals such as Li Auto and Tesla puts NIO in a weaker position, making the stock a strong sell. And let me give you my 2 cents on this summary. So, NIO is losing market share, and I have to say that they are losing this market share only because of their switching to the new NT 2.0 platform that will definitely be much more interesting from the customer standpoint, because it has much more interesting features, and the overall specifications of these vehicles are quite high. And that is why the old vehicles, the demand for the old vehicles becomes very, very low because of this anticipation. And the second bullet point, the company is burning cash rapidly and may need to raise substantial financing. And we already have $1.1 billion on the table. And I have to say that you have to know all the opinions on the market, and you have to make your own conclusion based on this information. That is why just use this information as a part of your due diligence, and we are switching to the technical analysis. And before we dive deep right here, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, definitely we have this quite harsh movement to the upside that gained for NIO from its lowest point to its highest point about 45%, and we have this pullback. So technically I can count 5-wave structure in it, something like this, but I have to say that this 5th wave is quite tricky, and it is not the best wave in my opinion, but we don't have any violations of Elliott wave theory rules. And right now we are forming this retracement, and if it is the completed 5-wave structure, we can pull the Fibonacci retracement tool from its lowest point to its highest point, because 5 waves on a smaller scale, it is nothing else but 1 wave on a greater scale. And as you can see, we have a perfect bounce for now from the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level. It is $8.98 mark. And in general, I have to say that the retracement should have usually should have a shape of simple zigzag. And because of this structure, in my opinion, we have to see the lower price action for NIO if my assumption is correct, if my breakdown is correct. And that is why I think the next levels of 0.5 and 0.65, 0.618 might be your accumulation points if you want to long this asset. So, and what should we expect next? In my opinion, in upcoming week, we might see this breakout below $8.98 and we might land lower. And definitely, if you want to see more confirmation, you have to wait not only this movement to the downside, but you have to wait the next leg to the upside. And on the retracement, you will be able to re-enter your long position with the tight stop loss slightly below this bottom. And this will give you an opportunity to catch the next leg to the upside with the less risks, but it definitely will be not so lucrative if you try to ladder your position down from this very point. So, in general, we have to see a cool down for the entire market, and we are witnessing it right now. And that is why just wait for the next call and wait for the better entry point for NIO. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell. And see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only got